Moshe Katsav, the former president of Israel, has been found guilty of 2 cases of rape and also guilty of 1 case of forceful sexual harassment. Now, this case has been going on for a year behind closed doors. Today, this Thursday, is when the verdict was given in open court. Moshe Katsav was former tourism minister. He was also the former president. And these accusations were actually carried out from about 1996 when he was tourism minister. Now, this is by far the most serious accusation, charge and now conviction that any Israeli leader has had levelled against them. For the past hour, 3 judges who made the decision in this case have been dissecting his defence. And some of the things they have said over the past hour is that they totally refuted Katsav's version of events. They also completely accepted the version of events of a woman who's been referred to as A. She worked with him in the tourism ministry at the time of the abuse. And they also said that it was a big mistake for him not to take a plea bargain. Now, just 2 years ago, the former president was offered a highly lenient plea bargain where some of the most serious accusations were going to be dropped, some of the most serious charges would be dropped, and that they would say that he would have a suspended sentence at worst. But he decided he didn't want that. He wanted his day in court. He said he wanted to show his innocence. But now, as we have seen, he has been found guilty of 2 cases of rape and 1 case of forceful sexual harassment. Now, an initial reaction from the lawyer of the woman who brought these charges, just one of the women who brought the charges, saying that it was a great relief that the court has put confidence in her testimony. Her suffering for all these years has finally been recognised by the court. And the lawyer said that her testimony was never doubted for a second. So just to recap, the former president of Israel, Moshe Katsav, has been found guilty of 2 cases of rape and 1 case of forceful sexual harassment. Monita?
What happens now?
Well, now the court case is still ongoing. What we'll be hearing in the future, it's not certain just what the time frame is for this, but both sides will be able to put forward arguments when it comes to sentencing. Now, we know that here in Israel, the minimum sentence for rape is 4 years in prison. The maximum sentence is 16 years in prison. So we could expect that the former president will serve either between 4 years or 16 years. But of course, both sides, the state and the defence team for the former president, will have to formulate their case for sentencing, and then we will see that in the future. Now, what we could also see is that Moshe Katsav could instruct his team to appeal this decision. Certainly before the court case, he was very confident that he was going to be acquitted. So certainly we could see him appealing to the Supreme Court to try and overturn this decision. Manita?
Did he ever say at the time when the plea bargain was placed before him and offered to him, did he say why he rejected it? Was he that confident that in his innocence?
His basic reasoning for rejecting what has been called a highly lenient plea bargain just 2 years ago was that he did want his day in court. He wanted to be able to give his version of events, and he wanted also to be able to show that he was completely innocent. But certainly the 3 judges, 2 women and 1 man that we have seen were in charge of this case, were deciding whether or not he was guilty, have really decimated his defence. They have gone sentence by sentence, point by point, over the past hour in court, and have rejected most of what he said. He had an alibi, he said, but they have rejected that alibi and have said that they don't believe some of his versions of events, and they have come on the side completely of the plaintiff, of A.
And we also understand that the judge had called the former president a liar. In terms of the kind of support that this trial or the kind of how this is being played out within the public, what are the Israelis saying about what is happening in that courtroom?
Well, this actually started about 4 years ago. That's when these first accusations started emerging. That's when the police investigation started. The plea bargain was 2 years ago. The court case has been going on for a year behind closed doors. Very little has been known about it, very little reported, as it has not been able to be reported. And the fact is, much of the evidence that was actually heard behind closed doors is unlikely to ever see the light of day. It's just the verdict that is actually being publicised. Now, we know that Moshe Katsav arrived at court court with some of his family. His son, for example, was there. And outside the court, there was actually a protest going on with women's rights activists. There were a few dozen outside that were protesting and supporting the plaintiff's story, with signs saying "you're not alone," and if there's doubt, then there's no doubt. So certainly a very damning day for Moshe Katsav, and what will be happening now is his defence team will be trying to decide whether or not they are going to appeal this decision, whether they're going to go to the Supreme Court and try and overturn this decision. But certainly the three judges in their assessment of this case were particularly damning when it came to Katsav, saying that not taking the plea bargain was a mistake, and also saying that Katsav spoke with two different voices, and judges said that they found his credibility problematic. So a really very damning verdict for the former president of Israel.